This whole Ezra Miller grooming situation is taking quite a turn, all right? I covered this story a couple of days ago. I forget exactly when it was, but it went up and yeah, you seemed to like it. And this story is so weird, dude, okay? They're trying to serve this crazy man, okay, with a temporary restraining order, ex parte restraining order. This is kind of familiar terminology for some people who are following a recent trial. More on that as well, but also they can't serve them and they can't find Tokata Iron Eyes, right? I forgot her name, whatever, it's crazy. But they can't locate these people. They can't locate them to serve them. It's very, very weird. Not in a good way either. Like, it's starting to teeter on like unsettling and creepy and weird because there's more allegations that are coming out, because I don't know if the parents of Tokata have interaction with her, because we also seen her statement on the situation where it's like, no, everything's fine and it's great. But then we're getting also another set of information which is just as disturbing. So let's take a look. Family claims actor Ezra Miller is controlling teen in cult situation. Not much has really been updated on that, and it's just kind of, a continuation of events, as it were. Sarah Jumping Eagle, that's the mother, okay, of Tokata here, okay, grew up in Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota, one of the poorest counties in the U.S. Well, there's other reasons we can extrapolate on that another time. She graduated from Stanford Medical School and returned to the reservation, helped the Lakota people as a pediatrician and activist. If you were only coming back as a pediatrician, that would be great, but an activist, it's like, come on, you can just leave that stuff at the door. Now 50, Jumping Eagle, never expected to wind up on a busy street in Santa Monica last month in a physical brawl with the wait, what? We didn't hear about this the first time around. Physical brawl with Ezra Miller. Well, we all know, as long as you can stay away from his vaunted choke maneuver, he's going to have a pretty tough time, because this is kind of a wafy individual. But she believes that the troubled Hollywood superhero... Yeah, no... this is amazing. Amazing! The fact that, yeah, there's supposed to be a new singular standalone... Well, kind of, sort of, unless you know all the background on this. It's not really a standalone Flash film, but it is the first solo Flash film, and he's still going to be the star of it. Okay, it's been a tumultuous development cycle, and the fact that DC hasn't even made a statement on all of this crazy shit, his arrests in Hawaii, okay, and now this situation, coupled on top of him wanting to go and fight a KKK chapter in the South, like, this motherfucker's nuts, dude, like, absolutely crazy. And DC said fuck all about it, okay? If this was Marvel, okay, they would shit can literally anybody who even had the vaguest allegations against them. Oh, and also, okay, because we got DC here. We don't even need to make the comparison with Marvel, okay? Look at exactly what a different branch of Warner Brothers, who owns and operates the DC brand of films that are out there, look at exactly what Marvel did with a certain major character of a different franchise, of a Fantastic Beasts franchise. Just wondering, okay? Somebody might have had an agreement with them. Oh, he still got paid for his role. He recorded one line and then his part was recast. Interesting. Pretty integral to the story, the fact that the second film in that franchise was directly named after the dude and had all intentions of continuing on in that franchise. I'm talking about Johnny Depp, and it comes to the Grindelwald character that is somebody of relatively high I think Mads Mikkelsen is playing him, which, honestly isn't necessarily like a terribly down turn for quality if you compare the both side by side, but it's still fucked up, okay? And what was Johnny Depp accused of? Things that are, well, I don't know. Where do you put trying to create a sex cult in the same category as, well, at the time when he was fired, being a wife beater? I don't really know where the scales weigh on that one, but according to DC and Warner Brothers, okay, you can run a sex cult, and that's fine. You can still be the Flash. But if your wife is a liar towards you, no, you get completely thrown out. Okay, so maybe the fact that Ezra Miller is still on this maybe led some credibility to this story. Let's continue. Tokata Iron Eyes, is brainwashed and assaulted and possibly drugged her 18-year-old daughter Tokata Iron Eyes, after grooming the girl for years. We went over that in more detail previously. I'll have the goofy little card if you're watching on YouTube above my head at some point or another. It'll be the first one that comes up, okay? Tokata and several other young women in California. Oh, okay, cool. So, yes, he is trying to, in fact, he, him, they, them, is trying to create a harem. Okay, nothing terribly wrong with that, except for the fact that he was grooming this girl specifically since she was like 14, trying to sleep in the same bed as her. Like, ugh, you fucking weirdo. Yeah, I was attracted to 14-year-old girls at one point when I was 14, and then that stopped there, okay? And then eventually everything just fucking followed along that same lines until I hit 18, and then it's always been about 22 to 24-year-olds, even still to this day, okay? But you got Ezra Miller over here fucking running a farm team, trying to call in the lefty, I guess. This is fucking weird. Let's not... Oh, he's not letting Tokata or the other girls bathe or wear makeup. Huh. Is he recently converted to Islam? Are they wearing, like, letterbox outfits? Like, what are we doing here? Jumping Eagle claimed to the Post, they have to ask his permission. It's like an R. Kelly type situation, and it's very scary. I don't know if you want to draw that analogy, because I have to look into that R. Kelly situation maybe a little bit deeper, but alright. Jumping Eagle and her husband, attorney and Native American activist, Chase Iron Eyes, 44. Wait a minute. He's 44 and she's 50? Buddy, you're doing this the wrong way. Anyways, says Miller's toxic behavior. You can't really accuse him of being toxically masculine, though, because... Well, anyways. Says Miller's toxic behavior includes the appropriation of native beliefs. Alright, now you're starting to lose me a little bit. She told the Post that Miller, the New Jersey-born child, a Manhattan publisher and an actress wife, okay, even lectured them on what kind of Lakota medicine man her family should use. Well, if he's just giving tips, like, that's not too bad, but... Yeah, okay. Like this guy knows his shit about what he's talking about, Jumping Eagle said. Yeah, exactly. You don't have a hyphenated last name that involves a verb and an animal. Ezra Miller, not Ezra Running Flamingo. Tell us what to do. Oh, I'm sorry. Telling us what to do with our own culture. Well, that's kind of bigoted ideology. Okay, maybe he has some good tips. And I don't know, maybe the Miller's just a stage name, and he really does have Native American roots. You never know. Bigot. Jumping Eagle said that he's glad the grandmother who raised her, Juanita White Eyes, that's a racism, is no longer around to see what happened to Tokata. Justice League star was arrested in March in Hawaii for disorderly conduct and later pled no contest. Miller, who uses they-them pronouns, why is that even important and why is that even in here at this point, was also accused of allegedly throwing a chair at a woman and being the subject to 10 911 calls in less than a month in Hawaii. He was caught on video apparently choking a woman in Reykjavik, Iceland on April 1st. He's had a tough year, but again, DC has said nothing. Absolutely nothing about this. They're actors and strange individuals with that's just I'm just gonna let him have his eyes just poking over like he's just kind of secretly watching me, and that's just gonna creep me out in order to spurn me on to the next article. The fact that they're allowed to keep their jobs, or even that there's not even like a statement from DC, is very telling and very odd, okay? I'm not for canceling anybody, but the fact that this motherfucker's been in criminal trouble so goddamn much recently, and he still, okay? Because we heard it multiple times during the Heard Depp trial that any sort of claims... This was Richard Marks and whatever Amber Heard's stupid agent said, okay? Even just the slightest assertion that anybody might be guilty of any kind of domestic abuse, which Miller's been arrested and is currently facing charges for, saying that those allegations are a basic death sentence to your career. Nobody wants to work with you. Nobody wants to be associated with you. It adds a different vibe on set. It's very odd that they haven't made a statement on this, okay? And the fact of the matter is, Amber Heard's going to be getting more screen time in Aquaman 2. Apparently, according to people who've seen the recent screener, okay, remember when she was on the stand, oh, I had to fight so hard to keep my job in Aquaman 2. That's bullshit. And I worked we had great chemistry. Again, that's more bullshit. Oh my god, I don't even know how much. I had this big fight scene and it got cut, and I don't even know how much I'm going to be in Aquaman 2. You've seen rumors on both sides on this, okay, so far. But this one at least seems the most credible out there, okay? Because as the trial was going on, Warner Brothers is calling this emergency meeting to cut Amber Heard out of the entire show on Aquaman 2, even though she's already got her check, it's already cash, it's already cleared, she's got her $2 million. Okay, so I didn't think that was going anywhere. Okay, I wouldn't imagine they'd be making such a snap judgment on that because, okay, the verdict hadn't even come in on that. Okay, and then a little bit after that, okay, didn't really hear any follow-up on that, so I already knew that was horseshit. And then, oh my god, now she's going to get removed mostly from the show. And it's like, I don't really know that for sure. But then you have people who have actually seen the test screening, and then they're reporting that Amber Heard is getting more screen time? I guess crime does pay. Been quite unclear what's going on with the upcoming sequel to Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. With the recent Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, it has been highly speculated that Amber Heard would have her scenes cut down or removed entirely. Yeah, because having somebody who's been like a verified liar associated in any part with your movie probably won't lend well, okay? And this is, remember, the original Aquaman was like the biggest movie to have ever been released and its images are the greatest thing to have ever graced the surface of any celluloid, digital or otherwise, that has ever been created. I'm being obviously hyperbolic with that, but would you want somebody as toxic as that right now? Like, literally, you go on Twitter or any other platform that's out there right now, Amber Heard is an abuser, is still trending with thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of talking points, and you have very, very, very few co-opters that are in there. Okay, the Justice for Amber crowd, they're still around. It's still a thing. Whew, I don't really know where their mind frame is at on that one, because that just fucking boggles the mind if you're asking me. They're still trying to use the old the fucker burnt corpse in the back of a Honda Civic line as like, oh my god, Johnny Depp committed actual violence. Well, as you can see from that picture right there, I don't think she's burnt or dead or in the back of a Honda Civic. Maybe that's where she's gonna have to sleep after the judgment gets entered on the 24th or something like that. Anyways, but yeah, no, back to Aquaman. Anyways, that was a nice little tangent. Oh, but yes, highly speculated that Amber Heard would have her scenes cut down or removed entirely. Yeah, because apparently, according to some of the leaks that are out there, okay, she gets pretty much mothballed from the offset. Okay, she like gets a fucking dunk on the head or something like that, and she gets comatized. And apparently, the trajectory of this film is supposed to be like a buddy comedy. Okay, with Jason Momoa, the actual star of Aquaman, not Amber Heard in any form or fashion, and whoever the other guy is, and they're supposed to be going around doing Aquaman-y things. So her role isn't necessarily all that, well, unfortunately, I got to be redundant here, necessary. Now that she's in a lot more of this stuff, maybe her action scene got put back in because, I don't know, maybe the animators and the CG artists worked really fucking hard in order to put this all together. Kind of like how they fabricated the emotional connection between Momoa and Heard. I don't really know. Maybe they just wanted to show off all of their good stuff. And this is just, of course, one screener. But the fact that they're showing this to audiences, methinks that there might be some credibility to this one, okay? And yeah, like they harken back to, and then I also made the analogy as well, especially considering how Warner Brothers fired Johnny Depp from the Fantastic Beasts franchise, where he was actually like a pretty central character to it. Like, I haven't seen the films or anything like that, but I know Grindelwald, especially from that Harry Potter mythology, plays a pretty big role in a prequel sense. So yeah, it's a little bit more consequential than the role of Mera in Aquaman. Anyways, in fact, reports suggest that Heard's scenes were either cut down to 10 minutes or removed entirely. Now, however, it is suggested that Heard's screen time has been increased to an entire 20 minutes at recent test screenings. Interesting. Like I said, this could go either way, okay? They're just trying to see, it's like, okay, maybe that whole buddy comedy shift in tone might be a little bit too much, so now they're just going to try to go with the old cape and tights route of just being an action scene, where now she has her fight scene that's back in, because how would she know if it got removed? Because again, this was another claim that Amber just threw out there, right? It's like, I don't know how much I got this big fight scene that then it just got cut, but again, the film's not set to go out until 2023. I don't know. It's like, this is a film that's just filmed and chopped up and ready to go, but when it's going to be released, nobody knows. Unintentional rhyming. It seems this is Warner Brothers' attempt to test different reactions to her role. Especially now that the trial has ended, they might think that, this is a better time to see how people feel. In any case, it looks like it's the first test to see if her screen times flowing all throughout the film. Okay. By somebody who's seen the screener, just got confirmation that the latest Aquaman 2 test screening was held today, still had Amber Heard from start to finish. Probably Warner Brothers is testing the waters with the public now that the trial is over. Screen time at approximately 20 to 25 minutes. That's pretty significant amount of time, considering the film is, I don't know, all of these films are encroaching on like 3+ hours at this point, so that's a lot of time for a tertiary character. Hopefully we'll have more details on the matter soon, and for the time being, millions and millions of people have signed a petition. Yeah, it was like at 4 some odd million people that want her recast in the film. You know how you get a recast for Aquaman 3 because nobody's going back and doing reshoots for such a fucking minuscule character? You just don't go and watch it. Oh, it does have a release date. Okay, March 17th, 2023. That is smack dab in the middle of who gives and a fuck on the calendar. Like, Jesus Christ, that is... I know that Hollywood wants to elongate the summer blockbuster time frame, but for fuck's sakes, like, a week after my birthday? There's normally snow still on the ground for another 6 weeks, and you want to put out a fucking movie about a fish man? Alright then, good luck. But yeah, like they said here, they're trying to figure out, it's like, okay, cool, it's kind of shaky ground at Warner Brothers, and especially with the DC films right now, because they're trying to move away, thankfully, I guess, if you're into this kind of stuff still, from the Snyder shit. Snyderverse, sorry, that's the proper terminology. And Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Jason Momoa as Aquaman is very popular, but everybody else is getting recast. Like, there's different goofy directions for Superman right now. Like, Henry Cavill's out, and people kind of liked him as Superman. They just hated the films that he was in. Okay, and Batman's on his like 19th fucking iteration at this point. Who really knows? Unless, of course, you take a look at the Flash movie that's out there. And Flash, yes, that harkens back to the old Snyder gimmick. Okay, but that Batman that's going to be in the Flash film is also going to be Michael Keaton, who was 1989's Batman, which was a recast, a re-recast, or a recast, depending on how you're looking at it. But Ben Affleck's Aquaman, whatever, he's a big pussy anyways. But no, his Batman's no longer going to be in there because he got Robert Pattinson, fucking glittery vampire, as Batman, and that film did all right. They projected it would make $1 billion, but it fell short. So this is Warner Brothers being like, okay, we're going to take Aquaman 2 in a kind of a different direction. But then realizing that, oh fuck, we already have an established property here with this some sort of a more serious, like just a regular old action adventure film in the form of the original Aquaman. So maybe we should just try to correct the course there and have more fight scenes instead of just funny character-based interactions, which you probably should go into because everybody's just kind of tired with superhero films at this point. Just take a look at what the competitors are doing right now. Everybody's kind of done with this fucking nonsense. Okay, it does a good first week, but then it falls off of a fucking cliff, kind of like Amber Heard's looks in the second week. So maybe you should take a chance at this point. This is where we're at in the superhero life cycle. Okay, the reinvention, parody sort of death spirals like we've seen previously with like noir crime dramas, westerns, sword and sandal epics, 80s action films, all that kind of stuff. It's starting to run its course, and we're getting into that little dip before it's all done. So try something different. We'll have to see. when there's more information on more of the screeners that are going to be out there, because yes, it is, okay? It's just June at this point, so many iterations and many alterations are going to happen. But the fact that she's not completely out of all of the tests at this point lets me believe that she's going to be a part of this film in some form or fashion, and if it makes a whole bunch of money, she's not going to face any fucking repercussions. And that's probably good for her, okay? And it's probably the only reason why she hasn't created an OnlyFans account at this point, because she's going to need some money, because that $8.35 million ain't going to fucking pay for itself. So, congratulations. It looks like a bitch wins once again, and is with Ezra Miller as well. That fucking story is crazy as shit. Crazy as Amber Heard, in fact. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.